I'm trying to see what your wish gonna be like. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear legend. Happy birthday to you.
A 15-year-old now facing charges in a murder that took place last week in North St. Louis County. According to county police, it happened just before 5 p.m. on January 7th. Officers responded to a scene on Glengarry Road and found 34-year-old Jonathan Brown shot to death. Well, today, county police announcing they have arrested a 15-year-old boy, charging him with second-degree murder and armed criminal action. First Alert 4 right now is working to learn if that teen will be charged as an adult.
Jonathan Brown was a father living in St. Louis County, Missouri. Not long before his death, Brown had been released from prison and was attempting to start over, focusing on rebuilding his life and becoming a more involved father. In the days leading up to the shooting, Brown posted on social media praising his son, publicly sharing messages that highlighted pride and affection. A birthday video from a celebration later circulated online. In the footage, observers noted that the teenager did not appear outwardly happy during the celebration. Authorities have not stated whether the video has investigative significance. There were no public reports of conflict and no emergency calls made before the incident. Yet inside the residence, a firearm was discharged, leaving Brown fatally wounded. Police say the investigation quickly focused inward. The suspect was Brown's 15-year-old son. Because the accused is a minor, his identity has not been released, and many details remain sealed. Investigators allege the shooting occurred while Brown was asleep. A firearm was recovered, though ownership and access have not been publicly confirmed. The teenager was charged in juvenile court with second-degree murder and armed criminal action. No motive has been publicly disclosed, leaving the timeline between celebration and death unresolved. With limited information available, key questions remain unanswered. How does a public display of praise turn into a criminal investigation? What details are withheld when the suspect is a juvenile? And what happened inside that home between celebration and accusation? As the case moves forward, the absence of answers remains central to the story. You're watching Crimelens Uncovered, where the spotlight of social media casts the darkest shadows. From TikTok phenoms and Instagram couples to Facebook influencers, we peel back the filters to reveal the crimes behind the fame. Subscribe if you want the unfiltered truth behind the trending hashtags, because by the time a story explodes online, the tragedy has already happened. Now let's dive in. Jonathan Brown was a resident of St. Louis County, Missouri, and the father of 3 boys. His life prior to the fatal shooting included a documented criminal history that resulted in years of separation from his children. In 2013, Brown was convicted of resisting arrest, a charge that later carried significant legal consequences. In 2019, when Brown was taken into custody again, that prior conviction elevated the seriousness of the case. He was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by a previously convicted felon, a felony offense under Missouri law. Brown ultimately served approximately 4 years and 10 months in prison. During this period of incarceration, Brown was absent from his children's daily lives, while they continued to grow up without him. At the time he entered prison, his oldest son, Legend, was approximately 9 years old. While Brown remained incarcerated, reports indicate that when Legend was around 13 years old, he became involved in a separate juvenile incident. According to those reports, Legend and 2 other juveniles were connected to an armed carjacking in Berkeley, Missouri, during which a man was ordered out of his vehicle before it was driven away. All 3 juveniles were later apprehended. Because those involved were minors, authorities did not publicly release detailed outcomes, and what actions were taken following the arrests were not made public. Brown was released from prison in 2025 and returned to the community shortly thereafter. In September following his release, Brown shared a public reflection describing how far he believed he had come since re-entering society. In that post, he wrote that he had been home for 197 days, stated that he owned his house, confirmed that he was employed, and described himself as being at peace. He also wrote, that he was thankful to God for allowing him to be present in his sons' lives and for showing him the morals and principles he believed were necessary to move forward in life. In August, Brown shared a post featuring a photo of his son Legend's certificate of promotion to the 9th grade. In the caption, he referenced pride in his son's academic progress and identified Legend by a personal nickname, Fat Daddy, which he used when referring to him online. In addition to these specific posts, Brown frequently shared affectionate messages about his sons on social media, often highlighting pride, encouragement, and acknowledgement of their growth. Brown's recent activities suggested an effort to present a renewed direction. Social media posts shared showed him publicly praising his son. It was the day preceding his son's birthday when Jonathan Brown shared one of his final public messages on social media. In the post, he wrote, "My son gonna be 15 tomorrow. Thank you, Lord, for letting me be with my son. Next year, big 16, it going down." The message appeared to reflect the significance of the moment for Brown, particularly after having spent several years incarcerated and missing major milestones in his children's lives. The post suggested that being present for this birthday held meaning for him and that he was already looking ahead to future celebrations. Shortly afterward, a birthday gathering took place and was captured in a video that later circulated publicly. The footage showed Brown present alongside his son during the celebration, which appeared to be organized as a formal birthday event. Decorations, recording, and the setting indicated that effort had been put into marking the occasion. However, viewers who later watched the footage began to notice details that stood out.
Let me see. Hey, turn around, Fat Daddy. Okay. Go on in, Fat Daddy. Now leave your glasses on. Go on in. I can't see. Yes, you can. Shut up. Making it rain on his ass. Hey, I don't want to do cups like the man of the year. I don't want to do cups like the man of the year. I don't want to do cups like the man of the year. I don't want to do cups like the man of the year. I don't want to do cups like the man of the year. I don't want to do cups like the man of the year. Man of the year. said it's all what on that pizza?
Pork.
I got ham.
Pork.
What about beef?
That's fine.
That's beef. I got beef. Play that other shit. What's that other shit? Let me see. Hey, Daddy, what's up, gang? Pop your shit, gang. Come on, I got some studio in here. Come here, I got something for you. I got a gift for you. Come here. Fat Daddy. Yeah, I'm live. Come here, Fat Daddy. Fat Daddy, I got something for you. Come here.
Checkers and rallies near
Let's come here.
combo just beat bread. Over a quarter pound of beef and beer cheese on a press. They don't know.
Come here, Fat Daddy, I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, y'all. See my son, man. You heard me? Talk your shit. You can talk your shit in this bitch, gang. You heard me? What you trying to do? Talk your shit in this bitch, gang. Talk your shit in this bitch, gang. You on my live, Fat Daddy. You heard me? How you going?
Despite the celebratory environment, Brown's son did not appear outwardly happy or engaged throughout the video. His facial expressions and body language appeared restrained, and he did not display visible excitement commonly associated with birthday celebrations. This observation raised questions among those who viewed the footage. It is unclear whether the party reflected what the teenager personally wanted, whether there were private issues occurring at the time, or whether something else may have been weighing on him. It is also possible that the footage captured only a brief moment that did not fully represent the overall atmosphere of the day. The video itself provides no direct explanation, but the contrast between Brown's public enthusiasm and his son's visible demeanor has drawn attention. Jonathan Brown was found dead inside his St. Louis County, Missouri home shortly after his 15-year-old son's birthday celebration. Authorities confirmed that emergency responders were called to the residence, and upon arrival, Brown was pronounced deceased at the scene. According to police reports, no individuals outside the household were involved in the incident. Investigators indicated that the suspect, Brown's son, was alone with his father. There were no prior reports of domestic disturbances or emergency calls leading up to the event, leaving only a brief window of time between the birthday celebration and the fatal incident. A firearm was recovered from the home, though public records have not clarified whether the weapon belonged to the victim, the suspect, or another individual. Authorities also stated that no gunshots were reported to have been heard outside the home. No witnesses have publicly come forward, and the exact sequence of events immediately preceding the shooting remains partially undisclosed. Preliminary findings suggest that there was no third-party involvement, and the investigation has focused entirely on the household. Authorities are examining the suspect's state of mind, the accessibility of the firearm, and potential contributing factors, including family dynamics and interactions in the days leading up to the incident. Investigators also collected digital evidence, including Brown's social media posts and the birthday video, to establish a timeline and context. In the video, while the celebration appeared organized and intentional, viewers noted that the teenager did not appear outwardly happy, which raises questions about whether the celebration reflected what he wanted or if other issues were affecting him. Authorities have not confirmed whether the footage or social media posts influenced the investigation. The 15-year-old suspect was confirmed to be Jonathan Brown's oldest son, Legend. Because Legend is a juvenile, the case is proceeding through the juvenile justice system, and certain details, including trial dates, proceedings, and additional charges, remain confidential. Public reports state that Legend has been charged with second-degree murder and armed criminal action. Authorities have emphasized that the suspect's juvenile status limits what can be shared publicly. In the aftermath, family, friends, and the local community expressed shock at the fatal incident. Jonathan Brown was remembered as a man who, despite a past that included incarceration, had consistently expressed a desire to change, rebuild his life, and be present for his children. He documented his efforts publicly, showing pride in his son's milestones and gratitude for the opportunities he had after returning home. Friends and family described him as someone who wanted to turn his life around, create stability for his household, and demonstrate the values and principles he hoped his children would carry forward. The tragic outcome of his life, following years of trying to make amends and build a better path, has left questions lingering about what could have been and what may have gone unnoticed in the days leading up to the shooting. Investigators continue to review evidence to understand the full circumstances, while the story of Jonathan Brown serves as a stark reminder of the complexities that can exist within families, the challenges of reintegration after incarceration, and the fragile balance between past mistakes and future intentions. As viewers, what do you think might have led to this tragic outcome despite Jonathan's efforts to rebuild his life? Could more have been done to prevent this from happening? Or were there warning signs that went unnoticed? How does a family navigate the balance between past mistakes and the hopes of a better future when tragedy strikes so suddenly? And that concludes today's case. But remember, this is just one of countless hidden stories waiting to be brought to light. Here at Crimelens Uncovered, we're committed to digging beneath the surface, giving a voice to those who can no longer speak, and making sure their stories are never lost to time. If today's investigation gave you new perspective, just wait. There are more cases coming that will shock, disturb, and challenge the way you see the world. So don't forget to subscribe, tap the like button, and turn on notifications, so you're always first to know when a new story drops. We release fresh investigations regularly, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. Before you go, share your thoughts in the comments. Which part of this case resonated with you most? Your voice helps keep these stories alive. Until next time, stay alert, stay safe, and remember, the search for justice always begins with the truth. Crimelens Uncovered, where every case finds its voice.